Hi guys, today I want to share with you my mindset shift tool. How does it work? You take a challenge in any area of your life. You write down exactly what that challenge is you're experiencing. B, you create a mindset shift. How can you look at this situation differently? How can you approach it differently that will bring you completely different results? Third, you look at what outcomes would this new mindset shift bring you. I'll give you an example of this, which we recently applied just last week with a good friend of mine. So he was completely terrified of water. He couldn't swim, and he knew how to swim, but he couldn't get his feet down to the bottom. Like he couldn't float in the water. He used to get scared of the water. So he wrote down and he said, okay, I am terrified of water. Then he said, okay, how can I look at the situation differently? He decided, A, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to conquer this, and I'm going to master this water. What was the outcome? Outcome he created was that I am now going to be able to take care of my biggest fear that I've had ever since I was a kid. Now, think about it with this mindset. Having this outcome in mind that I'm going to conquer the biggest fear I've ever had since a kid. Then he jumps into the water. And guess what happens? He was able to float. I've used this exactly the same with other friends of mine who are afraid of sales, people who absolutely dread making phone calls, but who are able to make a huge shift into their business. I've used this with my clients who were afraid of going into martial arts and just to defend their family. And hi guys, today
कंटिन्यू कर लेते क्या पता कट जाता खैर
कर सकते हो
नहीं अभी.
Hi guys, today I want to share with you my mindset shift tool. What's a mindset shift tool? Well, you take any challenge of any area of your life, wherever you're having, you make a mindset shift and you completely overcome that challenge. You completely break through that barrier. I'll give you an example. A good friend of mine, using this mindset shift, was able to overcome his fear of water. Another client of mine was able to make more phone calls and close more deals. Another friend of mine was able to expand his business through thinking of more creative marketing strategies. Another good client of mine, he was able to get into the fighting ring and start to fight. Now, how does this work? It's very simple. Number one, you take the challenge. What's the current challenge you're experiencing? 3-step process. What's the current challenge you're facing? Number two, what is a mindset shift you can create? How can you look at this situation differently? And number three, what would the outcome be like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if you were to make that mindset shift today? So an example of the friend of mine who was afraid of water, he said, I'm afraid of water. I'm absolutely terrified. Now, then he said, what's a mindset shift I'm going to make? He said, I'm going to be confident, I'm going to be able to float, and I'm going to swim. What was the outcome? I'm going to be able to conquer my biggest fear, and because I would do that, I'm not going to be afraid of anything else in my life, and I'll be absolutely unstoppable in every area of my life. Now, is this easy when you actually get to the moment of your challenge? It's not, right? So how do you deal with that? Well, you have this either written down in front of you or notes, or you remember this, or you practice this when you're not in this situation. So you master that mindset. Once you master that mindset, then you go into that situation, then you go in front of that pool, then you go in front of that client, then you go in front of your opponent, then you go in front of your spouse or your relationships or your parents or your kids, and you go in with that new mindset you just created. Then watch how the situation unfolds and watch how you as well will be able to create those different outcomes. And this is exactly where the shift is, guys. The biggest thing my friend discovered was that he was in the middle of his own goals. He was in his own way for this many years. And trust me, whatever challenges you're experiencing, you're the only one getting in your own way. And you can get out with using this method. So ask yourself, what areas are there where you're experiencing challenges, where you feel stopped, where you feel that you can't get to the next level you've been trying very hard for? Apply this method. I'm sure it will bring you the same benefits that has brought me and many other people. Thank you.